about 3,000 Chromebooks. We were one of the first ones out of the gate to get that order in, and then the company held them, and then told us that they weren't going to be able to fill that order. So we have since been able to fund more devices, but as you all are probably fully aware, there is a national shortage and really a worldwide shortage on devices. And so we did have to shift gears and look at our technology distribution, but we do have enough devices in district to meet the phase 1 needs of all of the parents that had indicated on the registration declaration that they needed a device. So that's the process that's happening right now. Those devices are being issued. We are doing iPads for pre-K and kindergarten students, and then Chromebooks for first grade and up, with the exception of some laptops that were already issued to early college high school kiddos, or laptops that are specifically needed for CTE students at the high school. So it's a process. When we're talking about 3,000 to 5,000 devices that we're trying to put into the hands of our students, and our technology departments work closely with the campuses. Everything has to be barcoded, everything has to be issued. We have technology receipt forms, so we know who received what, so that when we get it back, we'll be able to make sure that we keep that inventory hopefully in good working order. So that's kind of where we're at with technology distribution. We're right in the middle of it this week. Our goal is to have all of the devices that were requested issued by the end of the day Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And then we're hoping for our phase 2 distribution, those would be parents that are now, kind of saying, oh, well, I didn't think I needed a device, but now I do. Can y'all help us out? So that'll be our next phase. We feel pretty confident that we have enough devices, depending on how those numbers change, and they are changing every day, because parents that didn't ask for a device may now have that need, and we want to make sure that our kids are ready to go for school starting next week. And so we'll be crunching numbers of new requests that are coming in, and hopefully we will be able to meet most of those needs. We had several hundred extra devices that we felt pretty good about. We're just waiting to see where the numbers are going to fall. So the goal is to get those out by the end of the week and hopefully meet those phase 2 demands. And then as we receive those shipments, those delayed shipments of the devices that we were hoping to get, then we're going to move to that one-to-one technology distribution. So eventually the goal is to make sure that all of our kids that need one have a Sheldon ISD device. Kids can use their own devices, teachers can use their own devices. We have our BYOD network that's up and functioning, and we reached out to our community and asked our parents and our students to help us if they have a device that they can use to try to do that, so that we can make sure that the students that need a device have one. And then of course we're also issuing hotspots, and so hotspots are being distributed, one per family, so one per household basically. So those hotspots will run, I think it's up to 10 devices at one time. So if you've got 2, 3, 4 children and everybody's trying to get on, of course we're going to monitor that, because it's a hotspot, and so we're going to have to wait and see if we can meet the demands with one per household. But we do have some extras that we were able to get our hands on, so we're feeling really good about where we are with hotspots right now and Wi-Fi and connectivity for our kiddos.
So what is the numbers as far as the phase 2 requests?
Those are the ones that are coming in right now. So basically what we try to do with phase 1 is bring it up through August the 21st, so that first Friday when we cut that declaration off. And then since then, so it's been, I guess, about a week. It's varying. Ms. Patterson and I were out visiting campuses today, and we were trying to check on those numbers. And some campuses they may have seen an increase of 20 devices, and then we've had some that are reporting closer to 50 or 100 additional devices that parents have now, stated, I really do need a device. And so that's what our project will be once we get through phase 1, is to pull these latest numbers. Because I know Mr. Webster can attest to this. We have parents that are going in and updating their declarations daily right now, and so we're having to pull those numbers basically on a daily basis. We knew we wanted to get through phase 1. I would estimate, based on the numbers that I've seen right now, we're probably close to another 300 to 400 devices that have probably been requested in the last couple of days.
So with the distribution of phase one, are we looking at each child having their individual laptop, or are they having to share, or how's that?
With phase one, any student that indicated that they need, or any parent that indicated that they needed a device, those students, we have enough devices to take care of them. So, and that was any declaration that was requested through, the 21st of August. And so since then, we've seen a little bit of an increase, you know, as school gets ready to start. You know, things change, maybe they thought they had one, or they didn't understand, and they said, well, I have a device, but I have, you know, one device and 3 kids, so I misunderstood, I actually need, you know, 2 devices. So we're trying to make those accommodations, and we feel pretty good about being able to meet the phase 2 demands. But a lot of what we're waiting on is the shipment of Chromebooks that was delayed. But by the time we get that, we hope we'll be able to move into the 3rd phase, which is where we're able to make sure we're almost at a 1-to-1.
Well, I'm sure Derek will, there's someone who can reach out to parents, because I know there's a lot of comments on social media about, when are we getting our laptops?
Right.
We're not, so.
Yeah.
I know we've got them on order, but obviously there's a shortage nationwide, so as soon as we get them, you know, they'll distribute them out. 'Cause I just don't like to get all the negative criticism and things, we're trying to accommodate it as best we can.
Right, and we have been monitoring that, and I know our communications department has been trying to ask those parents to direct message, to share their requests so that we can try to troubleshoot. And we've asked our principals also to reach out to a lot of those parents that have made comments, because we you know, sincerely want to make sure that the kids are taken care of. And what we're finding is a lot of the comments, are coming from our parents that didn't request a device on that initial declaration. And so that's where we're really looking at the numbers, trying to make sure we can try to take care of them, even if it's not with the preferred device maybe, but it's at least a device that'll get them connected to the instructions. So that's what we're looking at this next go round. But I agree, and thank you for that. We're definitely trying to monitor it. We wanna try to take care of everybody and reassure them that we want this to be successful. So we know that depends on the technology for sure.
And I'm not being critical of our IT department or distribution at all. You know, I know we're doing the best we can. It's just, I don't know, I guess some people just don't have the patience, or don't understand what's happening, and
Right.
just demands it right now, and it's something, you know, be patient.
Mhm. One step at a time. And the goal, the reason, just at the last bullet there, the goal was to try to get devices into our students' and parents' hands by the end of the day Wednesday, because we had planned for Meet the Teacher Night on Thursday. And we want everyone to have that opportunity to have their device, log in, because we know they're not going to be going to the campuses, they're going to be going to Zoom rooms and Google Meets rooms to meet their teachers, and it's a whole new way, something we've never done before in terms of Meet the Teacher Night. So the goal was to try to get those devices distributed prior to Meet the Teacher. So, and with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Patterson.
Good evening. For the academic side, a lot of our focus has been on professional development. And that's professional development for all of our stakeholders, our teachers, our students, and also our parents. Because we now are partnering with them in a way we haven't before, and they really need, to know how to use all of this technology in the programs. And so what better way than to train them? So that's been our focus. I'll start first with teachers. We had a program called Sheldon On Demand University, and it launched in the summer. And we gave them an incentive if they graduated from the university by August 23rd. They would also receive a comp day for June 14th, which is a Monday. And usually teachers like to end the school year on Friday, have their weekend, and start their summer. And so that was a really good incentive, but we incentivized it because it was very important to us that the teachers learn the programs before they come back. It's very challenging to come back, learn a new program in 2 weeks, and be proficient and ready to go. And so we had 580 teachers graduate from Sheldon On Demand University before they returned, which means they had time to work through it and really understand the program. All teachers will be required to take the courses, so if there were some teachers who did not take it before August 23rd, it's mandatory. They still must take it now, because that's our proof to TEA that we provided training for all of our teachers to be able to teach virtually. So they still have to take these courses, they just won't get the comp day. But kudos to 580 teachers who were learning over the summer.
Well, what is our total number of teachers?
About 700.
So that's a good portion.
Very good portion, yeah. And they were excited. Somebody made a t-shirt that they graduated from Sheldon On Demand University. They were posting on Twitter. I mean, it really caught on and they were excited about it, which is really the best part. Because when you're excited about learning, you truly take the learning and do something with it. So it took off. They loved it. The second focus I'd like to look at is the parent PD. And, and one of the messages we put on social media is usually PD stands for professional development. Usually professional development is for the professional teachers. But now that our parents are really partnering with teachers in our profession, they need some development. And so our sessions began last Thursday, and we do 2 live sessions every day. One at 10 o'clock in the morning and one at 6 o'clock in the evening. We put those links on social media. All parents have to do is click that link and they are listening to live PD. They have the opportunity to ask questions. And what I've seen, it's picking up each session. I think we started with about 20. So yesterday we had about 20. Well, let me back up. It was supposed to start last Thursday, but we all know that we were all home on Thursday. So what we did on, my days run together, one day last week, when we saw that Laura looked like she was coming our way, for all of the PD, the teacher PD, the parent PD, we all recorded our sessions that we were going to deliver live. Because I didn't want to miss a whole week if we were going to be out. And so we recorded the parent PD sessions for Thursday and Friday. So last Thursday and Friday sessions were recorded. So this Monday was the first live session because we came back and we were all here and we could go as planned. So Monday morning, which was just yesterday, there were about 20 parents. And then by 6 p.m., there were about 50 parents. And then this morning at 10, there were about 30, if I remember correctly, and tonight there were 71. So it's picking up, and what I saw that I think parents will really like, it's an opportunity for them to ask questions. So our people on social media who are posting all of these things that aren't going wrong, they have someone live to ask those questions, and a lot of the questions that they're asking don't have anything to do with the lesson that was taught. But it's still a great opportunity to have a live person to be able to ask questions, and so I think that will help with part of the communication as well. You're asking questions that are on your mind and we're able to answer them live. So like I said, they're twice a day, 10 in the morning and 6 p.m. And the topics are Skyward, Google Classroom, Zoom, basically every program we're going to require students to use, we're teaching the parents and the students. Let me also say these sessions are being recorded. So if you miss it, it's okay. We have a parent portal where you can go on the parent portal and watch any video. We also did it so that when you have your device and you want to walk through things, you can go and watch the video, or you can't remember which step did he tell me to take here, you can go back and watch the video and have access to those items. And then finally, almost finally, our first day of school, we're having a first day of school dress rehearsal because we want as many of our students as possible to log on Friday morning at 9 a.m. and let's try this out. Let's try it out. Let's see what didn't work so that we can make those tweaks and make sure we're ready to go on Tuesday. Will there be hiccups on Tuesday? Will things not go right on Tuesday? Yes, but we can minimize it. So our goal is to minimize it and have this dress rehearsal. It's gonna last about 30 minutes. What we've asked campuses to do is students log in, teachers teach a lesson, but it's really about me. Let me tell you about Miss Patterson. Quick little about me. And then you post an assignment in Google Classroom for the students to complete about them. So, you know, first day of school, you usually have something, you know, some kind of activity to get to know your students. So the dress rehearsal will be that. So access Google Classroom, receive your assignment, which is really just sharing about yourself, and then submit the assignment. I missed a step. We also want teachers to capture attendance. So your students log on, you capture attendance, you teach a lesson, they submit an assignment. Those really are the 4 major parts of Sheldon On Demand. Logging on, we know that you're there, we give you, you know, a check for attendance. I teach a lesson, you do an activity. So that's what we're gonna try out on Friday. And then we have Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to fix whatever things have gone wrong, so that Tuesday morning, hopefully, we will go with minimized distractions. And then finally, just a little reminder, our first day of school is Tuesday, September 8th. We are looking forward to it. This is, everyone will be on Sheldon On Demand for the first 4 weeks. So when we say school starts on Tuesday, school starts on Tuesday by everyone logging in from their homes. So what questions do you guys have for us?
How are students able to get their schedules? I know I saw that question on social media as well too.
So campuses are, and that's a good question, and it's fair because Meet the Teacher is Thursday, so I need to know who I'm meeting on Thursday. Campuses are using every mode of communication, calling, emailing, some do the text programs. So the word will get out and everyone should have that by tomorrow. Also, in addition to that, tomorrow morning, Skyward Family Access will open back up and you'll have your schedule there. So first thing tomorrow morning, we're opening that. We wanted to finalize and make sure everything is good with the schedules. So on Skyward, you'll have that information. Thank you.
Alrighty, now we move on to bond updates.
All right, Mr. Lambert, there you go, Juan, come on up there.
Hello everyone, how are y'all doing? I wanted to kind of give you a quick update on some of the projects that we talked about, and one in particular I wanted to bring up, which is success. Sheldon Lake Elementary is complete with the Duritex scope of work, and in conjunction with Whitley Penn, the accounting firm, the contract that was issued to Duritex, there's going to be a credit that comes back, a change order of $84,000. So y'all will be seeing that at the next meeting, kind of reducing their contract for the savings that wasn't spent on that. So we were kind of under budget for that project. One of the other projects that we talked about last week was the high school, and in that there was two items that we discussed. One was the turning lane coming off of C. King Highway into C. King Parkway into Sheldon Community Drive. Y'all occupied or hired the surveying company to come in and do the roads. We were scheduled to do that last week, but we weren't. We kind of stopped with everything with the rain. So they're scheduled to come out this week and do the bore samples that are needed for that. We got lucky that we didn't have any rain, otherwise we would have to postpone it a little bit longer. But since it didn't rain, we're gonna go and start the bore samples this week, and hopefully by the next board meeting, we'll have the report and our findings based off of that. One of the other items that we talked about was the electrical duct bank that's out here on Sheldon Community Drive, right at the corner of Sheldon Community Drive and going north on Panther Stadium Drive, where that pole was put in the wrong position. I met with Centerpoint, one of their representatives, on what the next steps is to mitigate or fix that. As a result of that, I reached out to Sarah, the attorney, so that way we can make sure that we have the process outlined. As soon as we get further information, we'll engage Sarah and inform you all better on that situation. Generally speaking, that is a pole that was placed in the wrong spot by Centerpoint. Centerpoint is saying that Duratec told them to put it in the wrong spot. We have documentation that says otherwise, so we're kind of taking it to the next step before we engage the corrective action of who's going to pay for it. As it looks like right now, it looks like Duratec, but as soon as we take the next step and kind of get something in writing on how to what they're going to do, we'll go from there. Any questions on that? Not a lot of information. So we're kind of still working through that. There was a big push because when that work is done, it turns off all the power at the stadium. So it would be probably about a week down, so we were pushing to get that going, so that way it wouldn't interfere with any football games, soccer games, or anything with that. There's poles, and it's supposed to be 16 feet away from the curb, but they put it 6 inches from the curb. And that pole sits in Harris County's easement. And Harris County doesn't want that there in case there's an accident and someone runs into the pole, so they don't want to be liable for it. So the pole needs to be moved out by 16 feet. And Centerpoint placed that there, so they've got to move it. The actual work that gets done isn't done by Centerpoint, it's done by a contractor. And since Duratec did the work, they provided a price to do that work. So before we engaged them, we wanted to make sure that, that they were going to pay for it instead of Sheldon or Duratec. So that's why we engaged Sarah, y'all's lawyer, to make sure that everything's lined out up front before anybody gets, we get the work done and gets reimbursed. Any questions? The next project that we have is conversion of the old high school to middle school. That project's complete. We've got some roofing that we had to do. We knew that the initial interior was going to be done so that way kids could come in. So that majority of that work is done. We've got some IT projector stuff that needs to be done, but since no one's occupying that, we have to have some time to get that done, and we're working with IT to get that taken care of. The roof, it's basically sealed in, there's no water coming in. We're working on some finalized pieces that need to be done. According to Dan, we should be done by November 1st. But right now, there's no water that came in during the last storm that we had. Any questions on that project? The last project that we had talked about was the T building at Knoll. We know that project's on hold until further information, but we're still moving forward with permitting and making sure that everything's lined up so that way when y'all give us the go, we can move forward without any other issues. Harris County has stopped the permit. They require a 100-year flood survey, saying that it's not in the 100-year flood. And that'll serve for three projects that we're doing. One is the T buildings, that they're requiring that. FEMA, we still have some work that needs to be done that's related to FEMA. They want for us to raise the generators as part of the mitigation that needs to be done. So we need to see how high we raise that. So until we get that survey done, it's kind of holding that up. And the last project that's tied to that is the backflow preventer. They also need the survey to kind of get that backflow preventer as part of the FEMA work. In the meantime, we're also, because the T buildings are there, there's people that kind of walk in, your neighborhood that's there, come down, they walk the track, and they also play basketball. Right now, with the way it's fenced in, they're kind of sneaking into some cracks. So with Mr. Bradley and some of the staff, we kind of got together and come out with another plan on how to properly fence it to give, your public to come in and have access to the track and the basketball without having to jump fences or cause some type of hazard for them from tripping from where they're coming in. And we're also allowing, the redesign of the fence, we'll also make sure that we close it, during the day, so that way kids don't kind of walk off from the campus. So I don't think that that'll be too expensive when the way we design that fence. But we're kind of still moving with that goal, that making sure that when we do put the temporary building, it doesn't affect that project at all. So we're working around all those items. Any questions? Any projects you want to hear any additional information on this month? No. Thank you.
All right, now we move on to new business. Can we get a motion on item A?
Madam President, it's recommended that the Board of Trustees consider and cancel the November 3rd, 2020 board election with the copy to be attached to the part of the minutes.
Motion by Ms. Palmer, second by Mr. Coleman. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. All right. Item B.
Madam President, recommend that the Board of Trustees approve the attached special education contract services renewal agreement for Goldbook for 2020-2021, with a copy to be attached to the part of the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Coleman, second by Ms. Palmer. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, moving on to item C.
Madam President, it's recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the special education contract and services agreement with Cobb Pediatrics for 2020-2021, the copy to be attached to the part of the minutes.
Motion by Ms. Palmer. Second by Mr. Coleman. Any comments or questions?
So you go on, you could, said that we had hired different, therapists in the past, that the companies are just not able to cover all the students' needs. Is that what we're contracting with the college?
Yeah, it's my understanding that that's certainly a hard piece to fill. And I'm not sure, Ms. Passmore, by here, Paul, I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yes, it's mainly the bilingual, assessments, and you have to have a bilingual person to give those assessments, and so having a bilingual assessment staff can be challenging.
Any more comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, moving on to item D.
Madam President, it's recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the remote special education homebound student waiver as presented with the copy to be attached to the part of the minutes.
Motion by Ms. Palmer. Second by Ms. Premier. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Motion passed unanimously. All right. Sandy, do we have any comments from the public? Dr. Davis, do we need to go into closed session? All righty. Adjourn to closed session, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551071, obtain legal advice regarding complaint alleging violation of prevailing wages rate required relating to the New Sheldon High School construction project 551072, to discuss the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property 551074, for the purpose of considering an appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duty, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee, and 551076 for considering the deployment, special occasion for, or implementation of security, personnel personnel devices. We will adjourn the closed session at 7:19.
Board members, remember, we go upstairs, we can social distance, go tight in there.
I can bring it up.
What's that?
I said I can take it up there.
Oh, thank you. That would be really helpful.
What's up? All right. Yeah. Hmm. All right. So is this, you know how it has share, new share? That's on Zoom, or is that from OBS? Right here. All right. Allow them
Last, if you will. Go ahead, go up. Okay. You need to take the elevator?
I need to take the box. Well, I was gonna say, oh, this is really light. If you could take that. Thank you.
All right, let's do it.
Do
I'll show you.
do I just mute everybody manually?
I'm not sure if I need to be in this part or not. You tell me.
All right. And then no, I have the option to, but it's not working. Yeah, it's not doing it though. Allow participants to unmute themselves. I am on mute.
They love Miss Archie.
It's muted.
Well, thank you. Yep. You know, I figure if I act, excited enough, they won't ask me any questions. It's called strategy.
And then you were see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm muted. It says blank on you.
Can y'all hear anything?
Finally, I get a promotion in that letter.
You just got one. It covers this.
Yeah, it does.
They're unmuted.
She emailed the superintendent.
Hey, we're still not muted, guys. Yeah, we're still live. I just want to let you know.
No?
What else do they have the audio going through?
Isn't it muted?
Mute all the mics.
Alright. Well, I'm muted. Yeah, my audio.
Take care.
What if I just stop? Can I just stop and then start it back?